Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Reggie Kimble, aka Stickman #1, coming to you from Legacy Brothers Cigar Lounge down in Riverdale, Georgia. You know what time it is. Time to puff, sip, chat, repeat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think, comment. You know how we do it. Go get your swag from puffsipchat.com, and don't forget to get your cigar of the month. Well, you know, your monthly cigar subscription from loyaltoash.com. Our partners in business. Shout out to my man Steve Robinson. I'm here today. We put this together at the last minute, y'all. I'm gonna call this an emergency podcast because my man Juan over here said we got to do it this week. So I said, okay, Juan, let's do it. So I'm here with my man to my right, Cowboy, the proprietor of Legacy Brothers Cigar Lounge. What's up, brother?
I'm good.
Welcome to the Puff Sip Chat podcast. Glad you could be here with us. And we got Juan Cancel down here of Protocol Cigars. What's up, Juan?
How you guys doing? It's a pleasure, an honor to be here.
This is like a dream team over here, man. This is a dream team.
Shout out to Cigar Mike, man, because we were at his social, right? The Cigar Mike social.
Yeah.
Up at Highland, and that's how this happened. He introduced me.
He put us together, man. It was a networking event where people were truly networking. Yes. Truly networking. And I can't forget, last but certainly not least, we got the queen of the table to our right. We got Miss Tanya Graham. What's up?
What's up? Nice to be here. Thank you for
Gurkha
having me.
Cigars.
Yes, of Gurkha Cigars.
All right. So, hey, this is actually one of my second time that I've done like a panel interview. Usually it's like me, one-on-one, one-on-two, and I usually have my co-host StickMan Simp here. He's not here today because we got a full house. So, let's talk cigars. Let's talk whiskey.
Let's do it.
Hey,
two of my favorite subjects.
Two of my favorite. Hey, so actually, folks, they're going to help me out today because StickMan Simp is not here. They're going to help me out with a whiskey review. So you're going to have StickMan #1. We're going to be talking about what happens to be one of my favorite whiskeys. It's a wheated whiskey from Bernheim Whiskey. It's called Bernheim Whiskey, Bernheim Wheated Whiskey. It's made by Heaven Hill Distillery. It is absolutely delicious in my opinion. I already know what I'm gonna rate it, but I can't wait to see what these folks here to my right think of the Bernheim. Anyway, somebody at one of the lounges up in Smyrna actually turned me on to this a while back. We had a tasting, and I thought it was delicious, and I've been hooked on it ever since. And plus, I'm cheap because you can actually get this whiskey for only $30, like $29.99 at most places. So if you're a baller on a budget like me, that's what I look for.
You have your birthdays, you have your anniversaries, you have your promotions. You want to buy the special $200 or $300 bottles of whatever it is you're drinking. Mm-hmm. But on a Tuesday night, you can't drink them every night because you'll go broke.
Yeah.
So you got to drink those. You have those special stuff for a special occasion, and there's nothing better than a beautifully economical bottle for $30. You just drink every day.
And it's a beautiful bottle. I smell it from over here, man. I'm getting a little thirsty. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, we ready.
We're gonna pour it in just a second too. We're gonna pour this thing. So before we get started though, I gotta let my man right here, Cowboy, kick us off because we are in your establishment, brother. Yeah. This is a nice spot, man. It's my first time coming down, so thanks for hosting the Puff Sip Chat podcast.
My man reached out, so I couldn't deny it.
Nah, man. Well, we appreciate it. Like Juan was saying, this came together at the last minute.
Right.
So we were able to make it happen, thanks to you.
Yeah. Hey, just doing what
If I had something here, I'd toast to that. We gotta wait.
Tell us about your lounge.
Well, this is actually one of the oldest cigar shops in Atlanta, period. This shop was actually built in '92, I think, by a guy named Bill Clowers.
Okay.
Bill Clowers was renowned for cigars. He's like the cigar, they call him the cigar king. I started coming here about '98 when I moved to this area.
Okay.
So I already had about 18 to 20 years of coming here personally. And Bill Clowers actually sold it to another guy. He ran it for a while. And I took it over 6 years ago, and he said he wanted to retire. I couldn't let the doors close because we were so close.
To. Were you already a patron here yourself? You kind of hung out here all the time?
It was weird, man.
Home away from home?
It was weird. I'd come in here, just to, to buy my cigars and then to wind up the proprietor, you know, I was like, man, it's been a
So
roller
you didn't
coaster.
set out on this journey. This journey just kind of happened naturally.
You know, man.
This journey grabbed you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, you know, we've been together so long, the same guys for years, and to let this place close, it wasn't right for me. So
Yeah.
I retired from Emory University. This fell in my lap, and that was the rest is history.
Okay, all right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. And then you hooked up with these two great people right here.
Oh man. Yeah,
Have you known Juan and Tanya a long time?
Actually not. Like I said, I've been here six years. The previous guy that was doing Tanya's job, I did a lot of business with him, and we had a good relationship. So when Tanya came on board when he was leaving, this is the first shop he brought her to. And I was just so proud to see my sister doing her thing. I told her I always support her, you know. And I always have tried to support
No,
her
you
the
are
best.
definitely
Then
up
she
there.
introduced me to Juan, so this has been, it's almost like a marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Okay.
The universe just making things happen.
Yeah.
Connection.
It just falls in
he
your
turned out
lap
to be
sometimes.
a stand-up guy, you know, and everything's worked out so far. I really enjoy their company, their business, and the product.
Okay, all right. And here we are now.
Absolutely.
All right, and so now I want to formally introduce Mr. Juan Cancel, the proprietor, the founder, the owner of Protocol Cigars.
How you doing, everybody? So, give you a quick little history. So, the brand's been around for 7 years. It's all made at Esteli, Nicaragua, by Eric Espinoza at La Zona. We do a little stuff with AJ, but the stuff from AJ falls under the umbrella of La Zona because AJ makes some stuff for Eric at the San Latano factory in Ocotal, Nicaragua. And he has a certain area that he does Eric's stuff, so that area is done. My cigar is done in that same area, so it's like it falls under the umbrella of La Zona. And our cigars are, you know, I love them. We've always done something, want to do something different. So the way we started is like we didn't come out with a brand, you know, to make money. Really, it was just a passion and a love for this product because I was a huge cigar nerd, and I went to. One day this opportunity came up, and it was like, you know, who do you use to make the cigars, to manufacture it? And I was back then, and I still am a big fan of Eric Espinoza. I went up to Eric, can we do this? And he was like, yup, and it's been a great ride ever since. This month marks our 7th year in the business, and we just had a great event on Saturday here. Well, we launched the Bass Reeves, and the Bass Reeves is a very special product. So the line is a law enforcement line. I was a cop for 20 years, retired 3 years ago, but we had the brand, and the brand is officer-themed operator. So we wanted to show the diversity of law enforcement, and I wanted to show the first black in law enforcement, which was Bass Reeves. He was a U.S. Marshal. He was also the inspiration for the Lone Ranger, and we had a great event here. It was like a Western theme. We were
Horses.
We had horses. I was dressed like a cowboy.
I saw the pictures on Instagram, man.
was really cool.
You had the cowboy outfit on. I saw, you know, you had the little 6-shooter up there.
Yep, I had the gunslinger look, and it was amazing. And we had a great turnout. You know, Cigar Mike, again, another shout out to him. He brought a crew out there. The Good Time crew was here, and they were doing a good job. Great toast, just a good atmosphere. You know. My man Cowboy was on the grill, grilling up, you know, sausages, and people brought in chili. It was just an amazing, just a down-to-earth time. You know, we brought bottles, put them on the tables.
Cowboys, chili, that all kinds of just go together, right?
Yeah.
you know, for me personally, when I saw the Bass Reeves, I was like, that's my man. Because, you know, so many people don't know that history.
Yeah.
And they call me Cowboy. So I said, you know what? He said, well, let's just do a little something. I said, no.
I couldn't think of a better way to promote the Bass Reeves than to hang out at Cowboys
So I told
Lounge.
my man, I said, bring the horses, man. We're going to do it big. We're going to do it Western with
Now,
the
whose
chili.
horses were these?
It's a friend of mine.
Okay.
A friend of mine. He has a stable. So-
Okay.
Just happen to have horses.
Now, they call you Cowboy because you ride horses?
No, they call me Cowboy because I'm a Cowboy fan. The only one in the building. And I catch hell every year, but it's okay.
Okay, we'll talk about that
figure
off
I'll
camera.
keep
I'm gonna leave you alone right now because I'm a big football fan too, but I
Me
ain't not a
too.
Cowboy fan. So we'll talk
Not
about
a
it
Cowboy
later.
fan.
Oh man, okay, Juan, congratulations, man, because this stick is
I'll say a little bit about that particular stick. It's a so we did the Lawman series, which we do a little bit more regal look, a little bit more higher end, and we come out when we come out with the line, we come out with two versions. We come out with a natural version and a Maduro version. The Maduro, which most of us are smoking right now, Has an Ecuadorian Habano Escudo wrapper, Nicaragua binder and filler. It's not a very powerful Maduro, but it's very full flavored, full aroma, very nice finish. It's got some great earthy notes, it's got some pepper to it. It's just a great cigar. I really enjoy it. And it goes very well with some dark liquors, where I can't wait to pair it with that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
We're going to get to that in just a second.
And it's just a beautiful cigar, and it's again made by San Latano, but under the umbrella of Eric Espinosa, and it's selling like crazy.
And when did it actually launch?
It was supposed to launch last year, but because of COVID, like everything's just backed up. We got it in so it wound up launching in January of this year.
Okay, and then you hit the ground running, huh?
It's been selling like crazy.
I've been hearing about it, but this is my first time actually having one on the Puff Sip Chat, and I love it.
I can't keep them, man.
You can't? Wow.
You know, they're selling like hotcakes. Man.
Okay, all right.
It's nice. All the shop owners are buying it. They're saying they got it here or there.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty cool to see that.
Wow. Well, speaking of that, since Miss Tanya just spoke up, we're going to turn the mic over to you for a second.
Yes.
Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do with Gurkha.
I am the regional sales manager for the Mid-South region. So I have...
Making it rain for Gurkha.
Yes. Yes. Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama.
Okay.
And I hit the ground running. I got hired June 1st, kind of same kind of thing, falling on your lap kind of thing. I went down to do a tour of factory with a friend and was introduced to Gurkha and Juan Lopez.
Okay.
And did a tour, gave cigars, and I left and went back. You know, I was doing law enforcement in Baltimore.
Okay. Okay.
And
is that where you were at as well, Juan, in Baltimore?
No, I was. I did 4 years at NYPD.
Okay.
And 16 years in the Port Authority right after 9/11. So I did a cumulative 20 years.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Baltimore and NYPD. Wow.
And
Baltimore is less safe now, and New York is less safe now
Most
because y'all are down
definitely.
here with me.
More safe that we're out, but less safe that we're out. So yeah, he came up there for a charity for black colleges and asked the shop owner if she knew me. And she said, yeah, asked for my number. She said, I'll call her. She called me, he's here. I'm like, you're full of it, there's no way. So I'm leaving the gym, I went there and he was there and he said, said, hi, I'm here to offer you a job. And I said, what? Cuss words. I said, get the fuck out of here. You're bullshit. And he was like, no, I'm serious. I see talent. I see. And that was just for me, sitting on the couch, smoking and drinking his liquor. And I was like, okay. And so I'll take it. Okay. I was hired for a different area, St. Louis and that area. Okay. And then Ken left and they called me back and said, can you come here instead? And I said, same answer. So he took me around to different shops. This was the first one I went, so this was like home for me. It was like the most comfortable place. It's a traditional shop, which is my preference. Nothing against the clubs. If you like to go when I'm older.
There's a time and a place for everything.
The crowd here is older and they're cool. It's like, your people. It's your people.
When I came here, I felt a little bit too, just OGs all over the place.
Yeah, it's like,
wow,
this is your people. It's not like a whole bunch of, people just bumping and grinding. You don't have to be dressed up to come here. You can just be your regular self and.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different facets of the cigar lifestyle, right? People, there's the bougie crowd, there's the relaxed crowd, there's a little bit of everything.
And we've always had it like that. And one of my biggest gripes, it's not a gripe, but I've been smoking cigars for so long, I kind of have a problem with people that's turning into a fad. They have to understand this is a lifestyle.
That's right.
You do this. Cigars they've always represented completion. Victory, you know what I mean? Pride. There's always something above just the party scene. Yeah. So we keep it like, hey, this is what it's about. It's about the leaf.
Yeah, I've always said that me personally, I don't want to have to go buy a $1,000 suit to enjoy the lifestyle. Right. There's a time and a place to get G'd up. We understand that, but not always.
From a manufacturer that actually travels a lot, and Atlanta was the first time I've ever seen that kind of like club / cigar lounge where I'm used to more of a traditional one where guys are sitting down, it's quiet, maybe a little light jazz in the background. I love music, I love live music, but more like a background thing. And we went somewhere over here to check it out, and I was just like, I couldn't hear myself think. And maybe if I was younger, I might have liked that, but I'm hitting 50. Next year I'll be 50, I'm 49 now. And I was just like, wow, this is a little bit too loud for me. And
it's hard to have a conversation, right?
And I love to have conversations.
We say puff, sip, chat because it's about the conversation.
Correct. Yeah. And you have the best conversations at a good cigar lounge over a good cigar a good whiskey, and it's amazing what you could talk about, and it's relaxing. It makes you slow down because life is hectic.
Fast.
It's fast paced. You got to hustle. You got to run around and do this. But when you're at a lounge and you're smoking, it forces you to stop, slow down, enjoy, because it's not a cigarette. A cigarette, you smoke 2 minutes and you're back to work. Well, an average cigar might take you an hour.
That's
so
right.
You got to slow down.
If you're doing it right.
If you're doing it right, you slow down.
Yep.
You're talking for an hour. You're enjoying life. You're just breathing. You're drinking. And you have great conversation, man.
I love
good
it.
things.
It doesn't matter who you are and who you're having a conversation with. Everyone is on the same level when you're smoking a cigar. You
That's
know?
coming to a lounge and leave the egos and their jobs at the door. You know,
We don't have time for drama.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
I always say, we don't talk religion,
Politics,
and we don't talk politics
right,
in the
yeah.
cigar lounge.
You got enough ruckus talking sports already. I know, right?
Because we get it set off over some sports.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Especially when them Cowboy fans start talking junk.
I've had many
Only one
arguments.
team in America. America's team.
There you go. There you
America's team,
go.
but only the Cowboy fans think so.
Speaking of, we're gonna forget what Cowboy just said for a second.
Oh,
Only one team in America.
Y'all, we're gonna come back to that in a little bit.
Okay.
But while he contemplates that a little bit, I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, by the way, but that's a whole other question. I'm born and raised in Tampa, Florida. So, anyway, are y'all ready to drink?
Yes.
All right, let's get a little drink in, and I'm gonna give people a little history of
All right.
Bernheim Original. All right, Bernheim
I'll
Original.
put my glass there.
Yeah, I'll pour myself. I'm gonna ladies first.
Yep.
I've been letting this breathe.
Thank you.
You're
While
welcome.
you're pouring, have you ever tried the aerator thing that they have for spirits?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
It does make a difference.
I think it
it
does.
helps. It really just speeds up the breathing process, is what it does.
Yeah, actually, they have it for wine, and the one for spirits has a button. So you fill it up first, and you hit the button, and it makes a noise, and it's actually really cool.
I might have to get into that.
Yeah. Look for a spirits aerator. It's really
Spirits
cool.
aerator.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
So,
I say that right? Okay.
hey, salud
Salud.
to the cigar lifestyle.
Absolutely.
To
It's a
Gurkha
lifestyle.
Cigars.
To
To
good
Protocol
people.
Cigars.
Yep.
To Legacy Brothers Cigar Lounge.
And
Good
to
people.
And to
Sip.
Puff,
Puff,
sip.
Puff Sip
and
Chat.
Chat.
Yes, yes, sir. Simp, we're missing you, but we'll get with you later. We and you have plenty more podcasts to do. So, what do you think?
It's tasty.
I like it.
Yeah.
And be honest now.
Smooth.
'Cause it happens to be one of my favorites,
It goes
but
down
it's not
smooth.
for everybody. But
I love a good whiskey or a good scotch that goes down smooth and comes back with that little burn a little bit. Yeah, I like
Okay.
it.
All right.
This fits the bill here. I like
there
it.
you go. So this retails for about $30 a bottle. It's 90 proof. So
I
90
figured it
proof.
was more proof,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it is a wheated whiskey, so it means it's about 51% wheat, 49% other. Mix of
For
corn and
being
malted
90
barley.
proof it's really very little burn.
Yeah.
Very
A
little
slight
burn.
tinge at the end. But
Slight tinge.
Yeah.
And it's a 7-year-old whiskey, so it's aged 7 years.
I can smell the wood and the oak. Is it
Yeah,
oak?
you can smell it, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a good nose on it. And so I always tell people, it's got a nice bright amber color. And the pros say on the aroma, we should be getting a mildly sweet with a little hints of vanilla and honey.
I was going to say
Vanilla
vanilla.
hit me.
Yeah.
Vanilla hit me, yeah.
And I always tell people, the proper way to taste is I'm into get the nose. You kind of nose it with your mouth open. You ever done that? You kind of
Yeah.
have the mouth open.
Man,
You kind
that
of
is
gets
really
all the way
damn
back
good.
in there.
That's
Inhale
really
it.
good right there.
Can't always find it, but when you can find it, I say go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it. So it's one of my favorites. And on the taste of it, so what do you get? Anybody want to go out on the limb and say what kind of taste?
So I get the wood. You can get the oakiness. I got that.
I'm getting a little bit of bread, some kind of, I don't know what I'm
yeah.
saying, but it's kind
Yeasty, yeah,
of
like-
yeasty, yeah.
Yeah. So it does have a. Wait, before I go on and say what the pros say, I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm too busy enjoying it.
You're enjoying it. So that means you must like it.
This is
You must
good.
like it. Okay.
That's good. Yeah, like you said, the vanilla. I get the wood, the vanilla. Might have a little hint of leather in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's good.
A little hint of that. So what the pros say is that we should be getting some hints of toffee, some berries, and some spice. All right, and with a toasted oak finish. So my man Juan, you call that a little toasted oak finish, elegant and warm.
Yes.
It's kind of on the finish,
Yeah.
and it's a great
It is
sip,
warm.
man.
It warms. My chest feels
Warm is definitely warm.
Definitely warm. So now that you've had it neat, would you stick with it neat, or would you still go back to your rocks?
Myself, this is just, people think I'm crazy and I get it all the time, but I like my drinks cold. So I either got to put it in the freezer or use the steel cubes, but it's just so easy. I like the big cube because the big cube melts slower and it cools your ice, your drink down, so you're not getting a watered down. Like if you put chips in there, it's gonna melt like that. It basically watered down your drink. When you get the big ice cube, you guys, this is a trick.
It just
for home.
chills it, right?
Yeah. Trick for home. You can buy that on Amazon Prime. Big ice cube is usually 6, and it's a silicone mold. Use water, distilled water, filtered water, put it in the freezer, and you get those big old ice cubes. You get in the nice bars, you put them in your rocks glass, you fill it up, and it just melts slower. So what happens is your drink is cold, and it's not getting watered down so that fast.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So a tip for your viewers and listeners.
All right, nice.
I like it
nice.
neat.
I'm a neat guy.
Me too. I'm a neat.
Man, I can't put ice in. I can't.
Now, Juan,
Maybe a drop
I
of
won't be
water to
mad if
open
you
it
get
up.
up and go get some ice.
I'm gonna respect this.
I don't mind a drop of water to open it up a little bit because a Scotch guy, Jack, shout out to Jack, he's a keeper of the Quake, only one of 2 in the U.S., and he told me everything should have a drop of water in it. Just you open it up.
Like a cap full of water. Right?
Yeah.
And he
I
does that.
actually have a whiskey dropper where I got a little.
Look at you,
drop it.
fancy. Look at you,
Yeah.
fancy.
That's what I do. I forgot to bring it with me.
I don't want to have to put on a suit to go to the cigar lounge. He's got a whiskey dropper.
Well, when you see me in the
Whiskey
cigar
dropper.
lounge, you're gonna see me in jeans and t-shirt mostly,
Okay.
and
There you
sneakers.
go.
That's how
You'll
I
see me a
roll.
little more dressed because I'm going to hit shops, but they don't like that either. They want me to be more relaxed.
Yeah.
So I went to Alabama, I'm in sneakers because they don't have to come here looking like a city
They
slicker.
might not even
don't
talk
like-
to you in Alabama.
They don't
coming
like
in there
when
with
you
a suit
dress
on.
up. They get mad, they got an attitude. I'm like, my clothes
in the
offended you?
In the beginning, I used to dress in guayabera, which is a traditional Latino shirt. You might have seen people who has 4 pockets, it's got some ridges, and I would wear that with a Panama hat. But in reality, that's you're trying to look the cigar guy, but in reality, it only lasts a year, and I was like, we're gonna be me. This is ridiculous. The only people that look good in a guayabera and a Panama hat is Carlito Fuente and Carlito Fuente Jr. and AJ Fernandez, and they have that look down packed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my own look. That's how I do the t-shirts. I just dress like I usually dress.
And that's how I am. I'm used to having layers because I always had a gun. So
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
feel
you have-
comfortable.
yeah, you're trying
as a
to-
female,
yeah,
we don't hide it as well. And here, you don't have to hide it.
That's right.
Where I'm
Yeah,
from,
we are in
it had to
Georgia,
be concealed.
Yeah.
So I had to wear, I'm wearing tight jeans and stuff like that, and it's bulking out the side of my shirt. It's not hiding. You guys wear bigger shirts, and so I always wore layers. And so now I'm doing this. I'm wearing layers. I might have a gun, I might not. But who knows?
Never
But,
know. Who knows? Just don't try me.
Just don't try me.
Don't try me.
They'll lose anyway. Regardless if you got a gun or not, they'll lose it.
Yeah,
That's
I'm what do you call it? Heavyweight.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
One hit a quitter on somebody.
Try me if you want to.
What are you puffing on? I know we have the Boss Reeves over here. What are you puffing on over there today?
Well, actually, I'm smoking on a Nika series. It's made for us by Aganorsa.
Okay. All right.
And so, yeah, this is a really good. We made 3 for us in 2019. I'm smoking one of those. And then I have here, sitting here, is our Cellar Reserve 15 years, our number 2 cellar. And this is Ecuadorian Habano.
Nice.
And so that one is a good one for us. And he carries it here.
Okay.
He carries whatever you want him to carry. So
Okay,
if there's something
okay.
you want him to have from Gurkha,
Just talk to this man.
just talk
He
to
make
this
it happen.
man.
Okay.
It's
We
about to
make
leave.
it happen.
We call him. He calls you, and then it's in.
It's in.
He's got a very unique clientele because I love Lanceros. Lanceros, I'll tell you viewers, some of them may or may not know. Lanceros is a very thinner ring gauge. So Lanceros usually, our Lanceros are 7.5. 7.5 is the length. And the ring gauge, which is the width of it when you look at a cigar, is 38. So it's very thin. But what happens with a Lancero, and more so with cigars, it's all about the ratio. So the way you smoke your cigar, a bigger ring gauge, there's more filler to a wrapper binder ratio. With a smaller ring gauge cigar, there's more wrapper binder to filler ratio. So you're tasting more of the wrapper and the binder. And in reality, in this business, all the money goes into that wrapper because everybody judges a book by its cover. So you look at the cigar and it's the most pristine. That's the one where all the money is at.
The best flavor.
The best flavors. So when you're smoking a cigar and you have a smaller ring gauge like a Lancero, you're tasting more of that wrapper and the binder, less of that filler.
Okay.
And but it's just it's a hard sell. I don't know. People don't really buy them much I keep them in production because I love them, and there's a lot of cigar nerds out there, and we're a very cigar nerdy kind of company. But Lanceros are a tough sell. And then when he asked me, do we have Lanceros? I was like, yeah, actually we do. And I sent 3 of them down here, and they went through, before I even got here, I think it was 2 days, they already went through almost like a box and a half. At the event, I sold some more, and Lanceros are just doing very well here.
Yeah, the Lancero, man, you know, and the flavor, the Lancero packs so much flavor on a cigar, man. It's unbelievable.
People are sleeping on Lancero.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with someone else.
It's
a slow burn.
It's a very slow burn.
And it is, because it's long fill. But I tell people that all the time. It's the same. You get a car. Factory says these tires is made specific for this car. You said no. I want rims. I want big rims. It's gonna screw up your drive, but that's what you want. Same thing with large gauge cigars. So Lancero's blended more for what they want you to taste. But you want a 70 gauge. That's fine. That's your decision. But you're not really getting as close to what they thought was perfect. You know what I mean?
A lot of less experienced cigar smokers, they go to the bigger gauge, right? It's almost like they think they're supposed to.
I'm going to tell you what I feel it is. I think it's the American mentality, because American mentality wants more bang for their buck. So what happens is if you take a 6x60 and you weight it against one of my Lanceros, it's heavier. There's more tobacco in there. And the thing is, the Lancero costs more because it's harder to make. It's more time consuming when you're putting the Lancero in its mold. If you just make too much pressure somewhere, because there's no room for error in the Lancero. It's so thin, the slightest mistake, you will plug your cigar, and so what happens is it slows down the production. Where you're making, let's say a pair is making 100 cigars a day, and that's what they usually do with the Lanceros. Maybe they're making 20.
It's more like they're rolling 400 cigars a day.
Wow.
If you're a regular
I'm just giving you
roller,
kind of the number,
but an expert roller is rolling with 250, and that's a lot of money lost.
Yeah.
But they know that those guys
They
are not
have
going to
slow
damage
down.
the cigar. They slow down, you know.
So they're going to say, why am I going to spend more on this smaller or less tobacco when I could save $2 and get this big 7x70. So that's part of it too. But
That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
That's good.
And also, if it was made in America, it'd be $600 cigar.
Yes.
Because our kids would be like, I'm not working until you pay me. You know what I mean? But they're $250 is paying for the whole family being taken care of there.
There's a reason why the cigars aren't necessarily rolled.
And there's 200 hands that touch your cigar. So yes, it is worth
I've had
the money
a
you're
lot
paying
of
for.
Lanceros, but it's protocol. Man, look at here. I'm selling the shit out of them. I'm sorry, but you know.
That's okay.
Hey,
That's okay.
and it's making me promote the Lancero more because the reaction, you know, I talk to people and like, it's kind of slim, but yeah, it's long. But try it. And everybody that's tried it has come back and got 2 or 3 of them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make my point to start pushing.
we actually have 3
Lancero.
Lanceros here, and they're full, medium, and lighter body. So I'll start with the lighter body first. The lighter body is an Ecuadorian Connecticut shade wrapper, Nicaragua binder and fill. It's light. It's got a little bit of ligero, so it has a little bit of body. It's not I hate using this cliche, it's not your grandfather's Connecticut, but it has the creaminess of a Connecticut, but it has a little bit of bite. Phenomenal with coffee in the morning. The next one in the middle is that Mexican San Andreas. Mexican San Andreas from the Mexican San Andreas Valley in Mexico. It's like smoking a chocolate bar. It's chocolatey, slightly sweet. It is amazing. It's very full in aroma, full in the flavor, nice finish. And then the other one is a straight up Ecuadorian Habano Escudo wrapper, Habano binder, Nicaragua Habano binder, and quadruple ligero. So in a Lancero, you can't use a quadruple ligero. So in a bigger ring gauge, we put 4 ligero leaves in there. But the thing is, with a Lancero, you will never fit 4 leaves in there because you won't be able to draw it. You won't even make it a Lancero. But what they do is they cut them into strips and they put them in there that way. But they put more ligero in there, and ligero is the part of the tobacco plant that's the smallest one. So they're the top. So what happens is they're getting all the sun, all the nutrients from the sun, and also the way the tobacco plant is naturally engineered. It sends all the nutrients from the soil up the stalk to the flower. So what the farmers do, they cut the flowers off, but the plant's still engineered to do that. So it sends all the nutrients up to the stalks, and the one that get the first nutrients are those top ligero plants. So they are getting beat by the sun, sucking up all the rays from the sun, and absorbing all the nutrients. So they're the highest nicotine level. You'll never see a ligero wrapper because they're getting beat by the sun and they're small. You need big leaves, so the bottom ones are usually the wrapper ones, but that's where you get all the flavor from, and you get more the nicotine content. So we put ligero in there. and that blue, and that blue one is. And the thing is, you would think it smokes harsh, but when you double up the Habano, the characteristics of Habano tobacco is creamy and peppery, so it does beauty. And we doubled up, so it really creamed out that blend, made it very smooth, and it's really good.
Yo, my man Juan just dropped a master class on the cigar making world.
He knows his
He
thing,
just
man.
broke
He knows
it
his thing.
down. I
It's
love
fun.
it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I knew these things not even before I had a company, because I just nerded out. Like I fell in love with tobacco.
Me too.
I've been exposed to tobacco as a child, not because my grandfather did work. He was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Back in the 30s and 40s, they used to grow tobacco for cigarettes in Puerto Rico, so he worked in a tobacco farm. But I didn't know nothing about that. So, but when I was into existence, the way my exposure was, my grandfather practiced a religion called Santeria. Santeria is an Afro-Cuban religion, and a lot of the rituals call for cigars. So he'd light up cigars and pour wine, and I just loved the smell of cigars. So he'd light his cigar, put it down on the altar, put down his Manischewitz wine, walk away. I'd sneak into the room. I love. Ooh, this is nice. I drink. Ooh, this is nice.
How old were you then now?
Oh man,
Put it right
I was
back.
probably like 10 years
Oh,
old.
you was
something
getting
like
it
that.
in
I
early.
was smoking and drinking. This is beautiful. He'd walk into the room, I'd hide, I'd sneak, and he'd come in like, oh man, the Saints have accepted my offering. Grandpa, that was me. I know you know it was me, though. I know it was me.
Now, how long were you smoking? I guess when did you start smoking cigars when you could do it without hiding?
So just because of that, but I didn't, like a lot of people when they start, they don't know anything. They don't know nothing about premium cigars. So I was smoking Gosha Vegas, Hava Tampas. That's what I was just smoking. Going to the gas station, buy Philly blunts. And I wasn't using to make weed. And I didn't smoke weed until I was like 49 years old, which is a miracle in itself. But I like the flavor. And it wasn't until 1998 I was in the NYPD smoking one of these Hava Tampas, and this guy, old man, goes, well, what are you doing? What are you smoking? I'm like, smoking a cigar. He goes, that's not a cigar. He took a cigar out of his mouth and threw it on the floor and smashed it. I was about ready. I'm like, this old man. I was, what? Yo, what are you doing? He goes, hold on.
I got you. I got you. Yeah.
This is a cigar.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. It was a Excalibur oil at Monterrey by General Maduro. And I was like, what is this? He goes, this is a cigar.
There you
he
go.
cut it. He lit it. Try that. And I was just like, whoa, what is this?
Life changing.
Life changing. He goes, that's a premium cigar. And he told me where he bought it. He bought it someplace in New York called Tiamo. They still have them. So I went in there in uniform. I would hang out with that guy, talk to that guy all day long. It was funny. I would hang out there for hours, and the dude, the owner of the shop, would give me cigars. He never wanted to take my money. And I ended up smoking in there. And an old timer came in and goes, why are you always in here? I was like, oh, the guy gives me cigars. I try to pay. He goes, why do you think he's giving you cigars? Like, I don't know, because he likes me? It's like, no, stupid. You're standing there at 3 in the morning, smoking a cigar in a shop. You think he's going to get robbed? I was like, he bought security for a cigar.
I was about to say.
Oh, they bought plenty of security.
My man.
My security was
I didn't
bought.
think about it, but hey, God bless that guy.
There you go.
I went down a rabbit hole, and from there, I just started getting into cigars, and I went to Nicaragua like about a dozen times. I've been to DR, I've been to all just being passionate. And I told your viewers and your listeners, if you ever get a chance, there's a few companies that do it, like Drew Estate's one of the big ones. They do a cigar safari. I think when I did it was I think maybe now it's like $700. And so you figure from between, depending on the airfare, between $1,000 and $1,500, you're gonna go to Nicaragua, you're gonna learn from seed to ash. And everything that you're gonna see, every process, the curing barns, the fields, the seedlings, the seeds themselves. It's such an amazing experience, and it just further perpetuated me down this rabbit hole of cigar nerdiness to the point where I would just go to events in my area, and
I'm almost scared to go.
I became friends with Rocky Patel, Eddie Ortega, Eric Espinosa,
Juan Lopez.
all these guys.
Learning from the best.
It's just amazing, and it's a great, and there's a lot of people that do that, and it's amazing. And again, the birth of my company wasn't I want to become rich. This is a further level of the growth of my passion with cigars, and it became from being a super consumer to now a brand owner. Eventually, would I love to open a factory? We'll see how that goes, but I just love the leaf.
It's gonna happen.
What it represents.
It's gonna happen.
We'll
I'm gonna
see.
switch
We'll
gears
see
for a
what
second.
happens. Yeah,
Tanya, how long have you been a Sister of the Leaf?
I started smoking 20 years ago,
Okay.
2002.
All right.
With some officers, they had a cookout, and somebody said, you smoke a cigar? It just showed up. There's hardly nobody there, and they hand me a cigar, Joya de Nicaragua Gran Consul.
We're flowing right now.
I told you this would be an interesting panel, right?
No, I knew it.
I threw this idea. I was like, yo, you got
Shop owner,
brand owner,
sales manager,
and cigar media.
Yeah, cigar media. Yeah. That's the aspects of it, you know.
So back to you, Tanya. We're gonna go back. So tell us your story.
20 years ago, went to a cookout, smoked the Joya de Nicaragua Gran Consul, and I got high. I was like, "Is this legal?" He was like, "Yeah, it's totally legal." And so, of course, it was the officer giving it to me. That
was my first experience too.
And I was like, I got woozy, I got lightheaded. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Because we weren't doing it right either.
Did you inhale?
They told me not to inhale. What does that mean if you don't smoke anything?
How about you?
If you don't smoke,
I think I did the first time. Yeah.
Of course you did.
It was It was an lever, and I got really lightheaded way back in the day.
So if you got lightheaded, more than likely you inhaled. And plus, the cigar was way too strong back then for me. It was a stronger cigar. So I smoked it, and then I felt woozy. But instead, I think for a lot of people, you know, they smoke the cigars. Maybe they change their mind. They don't want to do it. They tried it. Or they smoke it and it's just kind of a fad thing. But when you become a person who jumps all into it, then that's when you know you're just on a different level. I didn't know at the time, but now coming to where I'm at, I realized, you know, I wanted to know more. I read about everything. I would go to the cigar shop, buy cigars, and run out of there because it was all men. And I was like, I don't want to stop because I don't want them to ask me questions and I don't know anything. And then I did all this reading and research, and 2 years later, somebody said, sit down. And I sat down and I started talking. I'm watching people do all the stuff that they said is wrong.
And you realized they didn't know shit.
They didn't know, all these guys didn't know nothing. They're licking their cigar, asking for your cutter. I was like, oh, hell no. You look at your cigar. You know you're not supposed to do that. Yeah. So I started to be like the police. I was like, you're doing it wrong. Why are you doing that? Why are you spitting the cut? Why are you doing that? Like, all this stuff. I was having all these rules. And I realized they didn't know anything. Yeah. So then I started seeking out more knowledge. I went to Cuba. I went to Dominican Republic. I went to Nicaragua. I went to different places.
You went on the journey.
Yeah.
I went on the journey. I read everything. And then it took me to going down to factories in the U.S., which is where I ended up getting hired for this job. So it was like some things just fall on your lap that way. But it was just me wanting to know more. You know, it just was something I thought was just going to be me smoking cigars, and I would post my cigars. My whole social media is pretty much cigar smoking, and and I started in 2007 on social media, and I've been smoking already since 2002. So I was just flooding the media with it. And
you were Instagram famous before it was Instagram, right?
But my family was like, "Oh, you're smoking those cancer sticks and everything else." So when I got this job, I separated the two. I should have kept it together. But you want to be respectful to people who don't smoke and not just flood it with all that.
At the end of the day, it's not about the cigar, though. I tell my family the same thing. It's about this right here, the relationships. One thing I want to point out is that y'all rolling up here together. You don't see this in other industries. You got Protocol Cigars, Gurkha Cigars hanging out. Come on, you don't see that. It's so hyper competitive. But in this industry, I see brands all the time, different brands hanging out. It's family.
And they're supportive. They're very supportive. People don't. You are tend to be competition, but if I can help somebody, I'm like, yo, I got this account. Do you have this account? You know, this is a great account. And you know, people ask me questions. Big hitters in my areas are like, you went to that place, what's going on with that? Because I post pictures of everywhere I go, so if they have questions, they don't hesitate to call me and ask me. And I take that as flattering that somebody's bigger than I am who asks questions about what I'm doing, because that means I'm doing something right?
That is right.
So I could have no cigars on the wall. They come back, I have a whole wall. They're like, yo, what happened? What happened? What happened? What'd you do? I'm like, this was me, you know. And where else can you just be you? Cowboy is he's here, he's himself. He's no one else. Juan is 100% him, and everyone wants to be someone else or be important. When just being you was good enough from the beginning, and this industry realizes that, you know, we all in whatever field we're doing realize that you were good enough from the beginning. You already created for this. God had already planned your route. You already in that path, and you just didn't know it. But
that's right.
You know, it's going to catch you by surprise. But it doesn't mean it wasn't meant for you.
That's right.
I'll toast to that.
That was beautiful. Well said. Well said. Well said. There you go. Awesome. I want to
add a little bit to what
go ahead. Yeah,
so
please.
She was talking about educating yourself. So if you guys out there, your readers, your viewers, your listeners, they want to know how to get some cigar information. There's a great book, Cigars for Dummies. You know, like
I have that book.
It's a great book.
It is a great book.
I knew a lot about cigars, but read it. I've actually read that book twice. It's a great book. You get it at Amazon, Barnes and Noble. It's just a really great read, and it's amazing how, like for you guys, you know who you are. I'm telling you, you might not know it, but somewhere inside you know who you are. That you're that cigar nerd. That you really enjoy this. Not so much. You know, you can enjoy the partying, but you enjoy this. You enjoy the camaraderie. You enjoy the spirituality of it. Because I think tobacco is a spiritual power to this product.
Absolutely.
If you think about the Native Americans would smoke it, the Mayans, the Aztec, all these people, you go back and they would unearth Aztec temples with pottery filled with tobacco. So this has been things that have been going on for generations, eons. And it's always, look at Santeria, it's something spiritual about this. So when you're sitting here smoking, it's just something about the cigars. And this book also, again, it's not going to enlighten you like, maybe some of us, including you, are, but it's going to, you know who you are. You're out there, you like the cigar, you don't know what it is, but you want to know more about it. The quickest, easiest way is this book. It's just, I don't think it's going to $10, but it's a great read. And that's going to either perpetuate you down the rabbit hole, and next thing you know, you'll be going to Nicaragua by yourself. It's amazing.
What about you, Cowboy? Have you done that journey yet?
Oh man, I did it years ago.
Okay.
But this is what I do. Now, for me, when I first started smoking cigars, my friends was like, "Man, go over there with that bullshit."
Really?
Oh yeah, all that smoke. How did you do that?
Mine too.
So and now I see them and they're smoking out both sides of their mouth. But this is my thing. I have people come in my shop all the time. I had one guy come in my shop. He said, "Hey man, I want that cigar Jay-Z was smoking in the video." And I'm looking at him like, "How the fuck am I supposed to know what Jay-Z was smoking in the video?" He's like, "Oh, I want the most expensive one," and I wouldn't sell it to him. I wouldn't sell it to him because he didn't know what he was doing.
Right.
And
you got to educate yourself.
I would tell anybody, if you want to get in the cigar game, you want to become a cigar smoker, learn to build your palate. Don't jump out there with the strongest cigar in the building. Don't go to a shop where someone just want to get your money. I educate people. When they come in, what do you like? What kind of, what do you like? What do you want something sweet? You want? I would teach them and show them things.
Show them.
And tell them, look, you're just starting out. You need to start with this one here. Get familiar with the smoking
because your palate will evolve.
That's right. You have some people jump out there, man, they want Cuban cigars, and that's another thing.
That's because that's my pet peeve. I got to get a Cuban.
Yeah. So,
I only smoke Cuban.
I only smoke, I've heard that a million times.
And I'm like,
really, do you?
build your palate, get with somebody that wants to teach you. Like I said, it's about the lifestyle for me. It's not about getting your money. I want to teach you. I want you to enjoy. You're going to get your money eventually, But I want you to learn what this is about.
We're all a
I keep
teacher.
my ring. See that ring? I pay homage to the Native Americans. I had a necklace as well. And people, why you wear that? That's part of my life now. I choose to take on something part of their culture and their history.
That's beautiful.
I have to embrace it, respect it, and I want people to do that. I don't get off on people that just want to, I want to go buy a box of cigars. You don't know what you're doing. Come on, bro. Let me teach you some things and let you experience it and know it.
So you can really enjoy it.
So you can enjoy it.
So you can really enjoy it. We're all teachers. You're a teacher too.
Hey,
I'm a toast
keep
guy.
toasting. Let's keep toasting.
He's a toast guy.
We're gonna toast all night. I'm kidding.
Absolutely.
So I want to ask you guys some industry-related question. What do you think the biggest challenge in the industry is today? And I know you have different perspectives. Go Gurkha Cigars, Protocol, a lounge owner. What do you guys think the biggest challenges are?
Who you want to start?
Start with Cowboy.
My biggest pet peeve or what I dislike about it.
Yeah, whatever. Dislike, challenges in the industry.
I don't like the fact that most people, they relate cigarettes to cigars because it's tobacco. And I've had people come in and like, oh man, I can't stop smoking.
Couldn't be more different.
Stop taking those chemicals in your body. People don't realize cigars are officially.
I'm gonna drink to that.
Leaves, all of that formaldehyde and all these 30,000 different chemicals.
Cigarettes are horrible, man. I've never smoked a cigarette, believe it or not.
And the world has a tendency to relate cigars to cigarettes.
They do.
And it's a totally different ball game, totally different feel. I think people should educate themselves on that. But don't be afraid to ask questions. You go somewhere, if a person's selling you a cigar and they can't tell you what kind of wrapper or binder or anything about what you're buying, you might need to go. Because it's all about getting your money and not allowing you to enjoy and understand what this is about. This is a beautiful thing. It slows you down. I sit in here sometimes, man, and I sit back in my chair and I might have 10 people in here and I think, that guy's a doctor, that guy's a lawyer, this guy's a truck driver, this guy's is a surgeon. And then we all sit in the same area and we all talk amongst each other.
And you would not know.
And it's like, man, it's a beautiful thing. And
That's this lifestyle, man.
Yeah, and that's why I couldn't let this place close. I couldn't do that.
I'm
And
glad
then you got a lot of shops opening up, and you know, and the community is getting younger. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 25 years. So now I look at some of the newer guys in the party places and stuff like that. That's cool. You know, if that's your thing.
That's your thing.
It has its place.
That's his place.
It does.
Because every now and then when I want to light a cigar and get my groove on a little bit, I might pop into one of those places.
Sometimes we wake
When
up
I want to shake my booty,
We get our groove on it here. We play music videos. We having a good time.
Oh, I bet.
But we don't go to the extreme of just obscenity, you know, just craziness. We sit around, we have a good time amongst our people, our age group, you know. And then sometimes the young guys come in the door, they're looking crazy. Hey man, sit down for a second, let me talk to you. Slow down.
Slow your roll.
Listen to an OG.
And I have converted a few guys that most people would think had no hope. I've converted them down, man. They come in, hey, how you doing, Cowboy? You know, I enjoyed that. I'm doing this. Sometimes I sit down and I mentor guys, you know, if I think they're going astray or whatever. Because I've been out there, you know. I'll be 50 this year. In 3 months, I'll be 50 years old.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't knock anybody.
Next year for me.
I love to teach. I love to show
I'm already in
people
the 50
things.
club, so y'all come join. Come join.
But this is, I tell you, this is a great uniter, brother. It really is.
It's an equalizer.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. What about from a brand perspective? What do you guys think when
So
you say the
for
biggest
me-
challenges in the industry right
And our
now?
challenges are different, actually.
Yeah.
I am a very small boutique brand owner. The biggest challenge I see right now is the FDA. Everything that's going on with the tobacco
I've been hearing all
regulation.
about that. Yeah.
It's there, kind of like what Cowboy, said about we're being lumped in with cigarettes and with. It's weird, like hookah, and it's weird, really weird because
That's for the young kids.
marijuana is becoming more and more legal. But and there's a part in Colorado. I went to an event in Colorado. You can actually smoke weed in the streets of Colorado. But I had a lit cigar, and somebody said, one of the security, you can't smoke a cigar. I'm like, wait a second, a cigar legal? That dude smoking weed is okay. It is what it is, and I'm really this government regulation. First of all, we got to really separate. I want the FDA to classify us differently than hookah, vape, e-cigarettes, cigarettes, and we are a premium tobacco product. There's no young people. They're not kids wanting to smoke tobacco. Nobody wants to smoke a cigar. Nobody wants to buy a protocol, cut it open, and put weed in there. That doesn't happen. It's a more of a mature crowd. It's more of a established person, and it's a whole different industry. Like there's no chemicals. He talked about formaldehyde. All we put in tobacco is just plain tobacco.
It's from the earth.
The flavored stuff do have some natural flavoring, but it's all still natural things. And they're trying to do away with this. And what's going to wind up happening if they have their way, a small company, there's a predicate date like 2007 that any company prior to that is grandfathered in. Everybody else after that would have to go. And I'm one of those companies that have to go. We've been doing everything to be compliant, FDA compliant, but I would love for them to say premium cigars are exempt from all this other nonsense that's going on.
For cigar smokers and aficionados, just people who enjoy cigars and they love Protocol cigars and other brands like yours, is there anything you think we can do to help with this cause?
There are things. You could join the Cigar Rights of America. They're a lobbyist, and they are fighting for our rights. And they have, when you join, become a member, they send you, 10 packs of cigars. So it's not like you're just joining for free. You're getting something for your membership. But once you join, they have you sign petitions, things to legislators, to senators, and all these things, and they have already made documents. All you got to do is print them.
All you got to do is type your name and send it out, and you're part of the list.
So those are the things you guys can do.
Check that out.
Most shop owners have.
We'll flash that up on the screen when we finish.
A lot of shop owners, I believe it's Cigar Rights of America.
Yeah, CRA, Cigar Rights of America.
.org or something like that. And they are lobbying for our rights. Hopefully, I'm hoping it works out and hope for the best, but we're continuing forward. And if one day, it happens and we lose it, at least I could say I was part of this beautiful thing that's the cigar industry.
Wow, that's beautiful. All right, well, I'm here for the cause, man. I'm going to do that. Tanya, what about you in the Gurkha side?
Well, I have a couple of challenges. I have the challenges for working for a company that has any issues, has had issues in the past. It's the latest story.
Some of them have been well documented.
Right.
Yes.
So when we talk about it a lot, but it's you have to address that because you're now on the team, right? And I get that. My team is great. It's supportive. It's not a white company. Some people say that white guy said this, and I'm like, you obviously don't know the story. You need to read it because you don't know anything about it.
What's the Reader's Digest version of this story for those who don't know?
Well, somebody just had a lot of opinions. The person who was owning the company had a lot of opinions about what was going on in the world, and felt that he was exempt from being in any kind of problems from it related to his company. The problem is his followers, the people who were super fans of his cigar, were the people he ended up talking about, which is a problem. And he's talking to his fans and his followers, and so. There was an outrage about it. He had a retweet of what someone else said. Black lives don't matter when he died at the hands of the police, and people thought that he wasn't his place to say it. Those people who don't disagree with it, it wasn't within his place to say it, and it was just bad timing because everyone else it was in uproar about the nation was in riot. I had 2 riots in Baltimore.
That's what I call reading the room.
Yeah, you didn't read the room. But then the thing is, if you're rich, if you're a billionaire, you think that I could say whatever and I'm going to have backing, but you didn't have the backing. Not only did you not have the backing from the blacks, you didn't have the backing from the rich people either. So now you have to hide away, and you're not invited to the games anymore, and they don't like that. So. As far as punishment, he's always going to be rich. He's selling off his shares, and they want to low bet him for it. It is what it is. But he started this baby 40 years ago. Of course, he doesn't want to give it for cheap, but it is what it is. But
is he still a part of the business?
He still has shares he's trying to sell off, but he hasn't found anybody who's willing to pay him what he wants for it.
Gotcha.
So
he's no longer
in the day-to-day operations.
So and like there are plenty of other companies who are still operational, who people are smoking their cigars who've done the exact same thing.
I've heard that.
And they've hired blacks, and all is forgiven. But in my company, it was a bigger following of blacks. So the outrage is even worse. It's kind of like everything you're wearing is what that company makes, and now you're really hurt by it because you have to burn it all. But so I totally get that. And those people who want to stand their ground, I'm totally supportive of that. But I think that you should also support my decision to do what I choose to do, because I think that a lot of people, you go to your job every day with no issues, but you think there was not one person who showed up at your job, the first person to do it, who didn't have issues, not only from the people who didn't like them, who didn't look like them, but also from their own people. If somebody deemed the company was racist in the 60s, and they hired the first black. That black who showed up, everyone was like, you shouldn't go there, they're the enemy. And it's just like, well, somebody has to go there, so, and now you show up to your job every day. Every last one of the people who are get on me and bait me on social media, they go to their jobs, they have jobs. Unless they're making t-shirts and have their own company, they're showing up at a job where there was somebody who was the first that looked like them to show up. And so yes, I expect to get it, from those people. And if they want to stand their ground, they do. But respect my decision to work in the field that I'm working in a job that I love to do, to make change internally, in a job that I'm doing. It was in my department. It was the first black woman. It was the first woman. It was the first black man. Now the department is pretty much full of them. But if I don't succeed, then there won't be any more. You know what I mean? So
there's a lot of pressure on the first.
It's a lot of pressure. So. And the thing is that, I understand that people are angry, and I know I have to keep talking about it because they are angry. But I also know that there has to be support. So I'm climbing uphill on one end. And then, also the territory had some people like that person, and they looking at my face and they're like, you don't look like him. So why are you here, So I'm getting it on both ends. So it's like, and hey, I'm built for it tough. I can take it and I handle it. But I just I understand your side. I just want people to understand my side, and that is a challenge that I have to deal with, and I'm dealing with it. So.
And people ask sometimes, what has the company done to change things? And you are a direct result of that.
Yeah, but they say that's not. Some people say it's not good enough, though. Some people tell me straight to me it's not good enough.
Yeah, but I will say this: as a retailer, when all that stuff went down, I know a lot of my customers love Gurkha anyway, so I was kind of on the fence. But I tell you, Gurkha made amends. They sent me a letter as a retailer personally apologizing to me.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
Saying, hey, we appreciate your business over the years. they've made attempts to correct their wrong. And I'm the type of person to where, hey, I respect that.
We make mistakes.
Right.
Nobody's
And
perfect.
when I saw Tanya, you know, there was a little apprehension there, you know, from not on my end, but, you know, I knew what she was getting into. And I told her, you know, hey, just the fact that this beautiful black woman is representing the southern region, okay, we already know where that's going.
Yep.
But I told her I always support her. And I have people come in, why are you still carrying Gurkha? Hey, you know how many companies out here that we support and buy things from that feel the exact same way?
Tommy Hilfiger.
You know what I'm
God.
saying?
You know how-
The
clothing
same
companies,
stuff. So,
Abercrombie and Fish. There's a
right,
whole
right.
documentary on them on
Nike.
Netflix right now.
Cigar companies too.
Yeah.
But when you reach a certain age and level of thinking, you understand that. And you go on with your life and you enjoy your life. I'm not going to let somebody's idiotic statement or something deter me from what I like. You know what I mean? Especially support my sister. So, and it's worked out. Now I have people, I'll be honest, I have people that stop smoking Gurkha, but the fact that I keep selling it, they're coming in and buying it. So some people have to put their egos and their problems to the curb and enjoy life, man, and keep living.
We're having an argument about premium tobacco. If it was, you know, whether someone should or should not smoke premium tobacco, and that's a luxury item. It's not. You don't have to have it. You don't have to. It's not like clothes and food. You don't have to have it. So if someone chooses to support this, still continue to support the company, that's actually a most conscious choice they could make, because you don't need it to survive.
No, you don't.
I kind of need to survive because I don't kill people because I smoke cigars.
It's a lifestyle, though.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a choice. It's a definite choice. It isn't like, oh my God, I gotta eat. I gotta buy something because I gotta eat. You know, it's something that someone's making a choice. So you make your choice to cut off premium tobacco from my company, that's fine. But respect someone's choice to continue to smoke it because it's also their choice. We all have choices.
Yeah, and the thing, my personal take on it is that when people make missteps, especially in the cigar industry, and they make a misstep like that, that they have clearly lost touch with what the lifestyle is about, because this is about inclusivity and about people building relationships with one another. And so for somebody to go out on a limb and put that out there, because we talked about that, Cowboy and I talked about that a little while, politics, religion, all that stuff. It's probably not a place for that in the lounge. Let's just talk about what we do have in common, and we have a lot more in common than we don't have in common.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna get back to the whiskey for a second.
All right.
What do y'all think, man?
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too.
Yeah.
Hey, you see your bottle is crying.
Oh, we killing it. We killing
He
it.
said we could do this all night. We can't. Apparently we can't. Unless he's got a case in
I
his
always
car.
say this: when you're drinking, the first drink is the hardest. Because your first, meaning it's the most.
I got the burn, yeah.
You got the burn, and is the second one's smooth, the third one's even smoother, the fourth one you don't remember it. The fifth, you wake up with it in your mouth still. It's amazing.
So 1 to 5 cigars. What you got, Juan?
I'm gonna give this a 5 cigars for me.
I already know it's a 5 for me, so people know I love Bernheim. Tanya, what you say?
I'm going to go with a 5.
Oh,
definitely.
wow, Bernheim killing the game. Cowboy, 5. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it 5 Bass Reeves. 5 Bass Reeves.
5 Bass Reeves. I love it. Okay, final word, Cowboy on the Cigar Lounge. What do you want people to know about Legacy Brothers?
I want people to know that Legacy Brothers is a friendly, family-oriented place. You know, we've been around each other for so long, and the fact that the shop has been here so long, this is a different name. It used to be Georgia Cigar, now it's Legacy Brothers for 6 years. But people still come by and say, hey man, I haven't been here in 10 years. You still here? And, oh, you opened it up. Yeah, we're doing big things, you know. We're loving it. We just want to keep these vendors in business, enjoying their product. I'm going to continue to introduce people to new products and have a good time. And I just want people to really, really understand and learn the cigar. Not what you see, not what you hear. You go places and everybody's smoking and puffing. Learn it, appreciate it. You'll find some type of solace in it. It's really nice.
That's
really
awesome.
nice.
Legacy Brothers Cigar Lounge, Riverdale.
Absolutely.
Come check it out, South Atlanta.
That's it.
Juan, what's up? Protocol Cigars, man. Last word.
What I want people to know about Protocol Cigars is that when we came out with this company 7 years ago, we had the idea of coming out with a cigar company, and the average person can walk into Cowboy's humidor or any humidor, close their eyes, and pick 10 cigars from the humidor, come out, and those cigars are going to be amazing. Because right now, probably more than ever, in our industry, we just have top-notch cigars. There's so many great brands, from boutiques to the majors. Just they're putting out amazing stuff. So we were trying to figure out how we were going to stand out. We came up with names, and they all didn't work. And at one point, we just looked internally. Like, I was a cop, my partner was a cop, and let's do this law enforcement. So while it is a law enforcement themed, you know, we knew like law enforcement is like the stock market. After 9/11, everybody loved cops. After whatever, you look at open the news, a shooting, everybody hates. It's going to be like the stock market, ups and down. But we just wanted to stand out and be a little different, and we wanted to do it law enforcement. But the bottom line, the cigars are amazing. It's owned by me and my partner. We're good people, and we love people, and we want to show diversity. That when you think of law enforcement, it's not a white guy. It's women, it's blacks, it's Hispanics, it's gays. There's so many people that sit out there and risk their lives and lose time away from their families just to protect the people. Like in my 20 years, the majority, 99% of the people I saw were good people that would risk their lives for, I don't care what color person it is. There's these misconceptions that sometimes people want to write the narratives, and I'm not disregarding everybody's personal experience, but from my experience, the majority of the people that I've had in my law enforcement experience were good people that would help people. Like, my thing was every day I want to show people, interact with the public and say, you know, cops are not that bad, and that's what I would have tried to do. And that's one of the reasons why I came out with the Basseries, the first black in law enforcement, to show the diversity of law enforcement. And the product is amazing. It's made in Esteli, Nicaragua, and I would love for you guys to try it. They have a few shops out here in Atlanta that has them. But just like in Legacy Brothers here, come and try it, man. We're here and we got a lot of different stuff to try. We'd love to have you be part of the family.
Will not be disappointed.
Absolutely.
And only fitting that we finish up with Miss Gurkha.
With the queen.
With the queen.
Queen bee.
Have a toast to the queen.
Toast to the queen. Toast, another toast. Yes, yes.
A toast to toasting.
Yes, toast to toasting.
So, final words. You have a company. Every company's trying to get the lowest cost tobacco to keep more money in their pocket. You know, some companies are guilty at doing it worse than others, and some companies get into trouble and have to step up their game. So I would challenge people to, if you've had Gurkha and you've hated it in the past, to revisit it, try it, see what we're offering now. We've cut our line in half.
And the company's changing.
The company has totally changed.
Totally changed.
And Jim Colucci, he's not about that BS. We have Aganorsa cigars. We have, Tabacalera Elitista. We're stepping up our game because now we're paying more and we're charging less, but we wanted to show that we can have cigars. We have no factories, but we can show that we can team with good companies and factories to make good cigars. So I challenge people to go try something and see if you don't like it. And also, nobody's reinventing the wheel. So if you say all Gurkha cigars are bad, it's kind of ridiculous because if you pull up the blends of any one of our cigars, you're going to find 50 other cigars that are made with the same exact blend. So you have Ecuadorian Habano, Dominican Binder, Dominican Filler in this cigar. If I tell you to look it up, and you look it up, and you find 20 other cigars or 50 other cigars that are made exactly that way. Different blender, so he bunched it up differently and put different parts together, but it's the same cigar, and it's going to taste a little bit different. But to say the whole line is bad is ridiculous because we're sharing this tobacco. Everybody's using the same people to get the tobacco. Placencia is giving everybody tobacco. You think that my Placencia tobacco is worse than someone else's? It's the same tobacco. So revisit it and see what we have to offer now. And also, hey, if you're boycotting, full-on boycott, and that's what you want to do, I respect you. Keep hope alive. Keep doing that. I respect your opinion, and I respect your choice. And that's it.
All right.
I want to add something to you said real quick, because I used to smoke Gurkha. I do still smoke Gurkha, but when I was a consumer, it was, and a lot of you guys that are long-time smokers might say Gurkha, oh my God, you guys are only about the packaging. They've changed their concept, and they've gone more into putting out great product. They've changed so much in the last few years, but I should say you got to revisit it because they have really streamlined it to some really phenomenal blends out there. Guys, give it a try. It's amazing and good cigars.
And Legacy Brothers got them, so.
Legacy Brothers, check them out.
Got them all.
Check them out. I just got one problem with all three of y'all.
All right.
Before we go. Nobody told me I had to wear sunglasses on the damn show. Y'all did not send me the memo that said, Reg, put on some sunglasses.
We the cool kids. We the cool kids.
Oh, man. Well, this has been
This
beautiful.
comes at a price though, so like if it gets dark, you can't bump into stuff and you look cool. So you gotta, this has a price.
Well, I just want to say for Puff Sip Chat, thank you to Gurkha Cigars.
Thank you.
Protocol Cigars, Legacy Brothers Lounge.
Absolutely.
I'm StickMan #1. I'm here kicking it without StickMan Simp, but that's okay. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think, and go to puffsipchat.com, get your Loyal to Ash cigar subscription service. We in the house. We'd love to get you guys in our subscription box where our followers buy our subscription box each month. We would love to have you guys in it. We'll talk to you off the camera.
Yep.
And I got some stuff to run by you, brother. We're going to do business.
Right.
Like Cigar Mike brought us all together to do business. We're going to do business.
One last
do
shout
business.
out and toast to Cigar Mike.
Cigar Mike.
Cigar
Yeah,
Mike.
so Cigar Mike ain't shit. That's his favorite little line.
He ain't shit. Still ain't shit. Hey, until next time, Puff Sip Chat, repeat. Stickman #1, I'm out.
God bless.
Hey, this is Stickman #1. Thanks for listening to the Puff Sip Chat podcast. If you want to hear more great episodes just like this one, please hit one of those donation links below. We could really use your support. Also, please visit us at puffsipchat.com for some cool Puff Sip Chat swag. Until next time, Puff Sip Chat repeat, baby. I'm out.